Hello, everyone. So it's Dawsember, as I think I mentioned in a previous video, and as you've probably also seen in other people's videos if you're a fan of DOS games, which you probably are if you watch my channel. And what am I doing for Dawsember? For Dawsember, I'm doing the logical thing. I'm doing a Windows game. That totally makes sense, doesn't it? Well, actually, it's a Windows 3.1 game. So I guess it's kind of, Windows prior to Windows 95, Windows was kind of it wasn't really an operating system. It was basically a front end for DOS. It was basically a GUI for DOS, but it wasn't really an operating system in and of itself. So I guess this kind of counts as running things in DOS. I mean, I am running this in DOS box, so I guess that kind of counts as DOS, even though it's technically Windows 3.1. This game that I'm doing requires Windows 3.1. It does not run in Windows 3.0. So I've got Windows 3.1 going here. If we go and say about Program Manager. Oh, it's actually Windows 3.11. I'm always a little annoyed that I don't know why. I'm always annoyed by people's use of Windows 3.11 when they should be using Windows 3.1. I should probably be using Windows 3.1 here myself, but I have committed the folly of using Windows 3.11. Oh well. Anyway, excuse me. So, and I assume the game might run on Windows 95. I haven't tried actually, so I don't know. You can try it if you're curious. But anyway, so what's the game that we're going to do today? The game that we're going to run is called Millennium Auction. Now, the reason why I'll ramble a little bit for a few minutes before actually running the game, as I often do. The reason why I wanted to play this was I was watching Yahtzee's recent review of the Talos Principle 2. When I say Yahtzee, I think many of you know, but I'm speaking of Ben Yahtzee Croshaw, who is known for different things, but is probably best known for his zero punctuation series of reviews, which has very recently come to an end. There was a lot of drama involved. I'm not going to tell the whole story now. If you're curious, you can look it up. But basically, Yahtzee's long-running zero punctuation series of video game reviews has recently ended because of disputes with the Escapist, which was the website where it was hosted. And so Yahtzee's now doing well, he's basically still doing the same thing. He's just started a similar series somewhere else. He's started it using his own independent, or I guess it's not his own independent network. It's some other network called Second Wind. And anyway, I'm not going to get into the whole story, but basically he's doing a new series of reviews now called, what are they called? Oh yeah, Fully Ramblomatic, which if you're a Yahtzee fan, you might notice, you might recognize the name. It's actually been the name of his website for years. Like he's had his own website called Fully Ramblomatic for years, so it's not a new name. It's just the name that they used for the new video series. But it's basically zero punctuation, just hosted elsewhere. So yeah, exciting times, new beginnings, and new opportunities or new activities for yachts. Not really. I mean, it's still the same thing that he was doing before. It's just hosted somewhere else. But anyway, so the last review that Yahtzee did was for a game called The Talos Principle 2, which, if you're a genius, you might figure out is the sequel to a game called The Talos Principle. Um, but Yahtzee was talking about how much dialogue there is in the game, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. So dialogue is not necessarily bad in games. It can be bad. I have the unpopular opinion that The Longest Journey was probably the first major adventure game that had way too much dialogue in it. I mean, I like the game, but I just couldn't get through it. I never finished the game because I just couldn't stand the ridiculous amounts of dialogue that it had in it. And I think that sort of ushered in an era of similar adventure games that just had ridiculously huge amounts of dialogue in them. And I usually don't like that much. I appreciate some dialogue, but usually not that much dialogue. But the Talos Principle 2 is a little bit different. And Yahtzee complained in his review. He said there's so much dialogue in the game. But it's not necessarily bad dialogue because it's classy dialogue. You know, they discuss philosophy and culture and art. What is art? So they discuss these things, in the Talos Principle too, and it's a very classy sort of discussion. The game is not really a game. I mean, it's a game technically, yes, but it's more like an art piece. It's a work of art masquerading as a game. It's kind of like, yeah, there are game sequences because to market it as a game, they had to put game sequences in it. But it's basically like kind of this huge extended sort of social commentary slash philosophical essay or whatever couched within the packaging of a game. Which, if you like that kind of thing, you like it. If you don't like it, you don't have to like it. But, there are people who appreciate that kind of thing, and I'm one of them. I've always enjoyed games more as art than as games. I'm not really I think I've said this many times over the past few years. I've come to realize I'm not really a gamer in the sense that I'm not somebody who feels the need to play a game for 5 hours to, beat the game. I don't see winning games or getting good at games as the goal. I see games as an art form in their own right. And thinking about this, thinking about the Talos Principle 2, and I watched, I don't have the game myself yet. I might get it later, but I watched some videos of it on YouTube, and it reminded me of this. It reminded me of Millennium Auction, because Millennium Auction is the same kind of thing where you have these very pretentious, sort of highbrow people standing around pretending to be very cultured and very, very, very high society, discussing matters of politics and philosophy and social critique. And it's funny because I've never played this game before. This game came out in the mid 1990s, I think, like 93, 94. Actually, hold on, let me check. When did this game come out? I think it came out in. When did this game come out? Gosh, I don't seem to have a. I'm not seeing a release date on the article that I'm looking at. But I'm pretty sure it was 1993-ish. Maybe not exactly that year, but definitely around that time. Huh. Curious. I've got an article open here that I was looking at. If you do a Google on this game, you'll find an article on Obscuratory, the Obscuratory, so obscuratory.com. Where you'll see that the game was marketed under the title of, or not the title, but the genre, if you will, of intellitainment. So you've heard of edutainment, which is kind of a term that's passed out of fashion, but edutainment was a going term back in the day for games that were educational, like a mix of education and entertainment. So the company that marketed this game, Personal Media Interactive, tried to market this game under the banner of intellitainment. So, intelligent entertainment, also entertainment for smart people, very smart people who want to sit or stand in a very classy sort of atelier all day and discuss philosophy and art. So, yeah, that's what this game is. It's not great as a game, but to me, it's magnificent as again, as an art piece. And I remember looking at this game back in the day because I saw it mentioned in Compute magazine because we subscribed to Compute magazine when I was a kid. I remember seeing all those games in that magazine and thinking someday I want to play all those games. And I forgot about a lot of them because not all those games are well remembered. But again, looking at Talos Principle 2, I suddenly remembered this game and I thought, man, Millennium Auction, I remember seeing that game almost 30 years ago. I want to play that game now. And this game is, as at the time that I'm making this video in December 2023, the game is readily available on I won't say the name, but it's on a fairly readily findable and rather prominent abandonware site. And I don't want to necessarily encourage people to get abandonware because I know it's a gray legal area. There are always legal issues because it's like the software is still technically copyrighted, but nobody seems to be selling it. So it's kind of the question of like, is somebody going to try to punish you for, I don't want to get into that. Again, I don't want to encourage people to commit any kind of copyright violation. Certainly wouldn't want to do that, but I will mention that if you were inclined to do so, there is a place that you can do so. Anyway, let's go ahead and run the game. I had to use I had to actually bump up the Windows video mode for this because Windows by default runs in so-called VGA mode, which I think is 200. No, it's not 200. It's 16 color, isn't it? Yeah, if you go to, hold on, where is it? If you go to Windows Setup, why aren't these icons showing up? Huh. These should have icons, but they don't have nice icons. They just have okay, that's odd. Anyway, so normally it says VGA here, which I believe is 16 color, 640 by 400 or 640 by 480 maybe video. But DOSBox by default emulates an S3 video adapter, and if you go out and Google, you can fairly readily find S3 drivers.zip, which will contain several S3 video drivers, and then you can go here and configure them for use here. So I configured an S3 video adapter at 1024 by 768 resolution in 256 colors. SF stands for small fonts. There's also an option for large fonts if you want the fonts to be somewhat larger, because higher resolutions are associated with smaller size of fonts on the screen. And they're even higher resolutions. I mean, if I go here, I think I can actually, it actually gives you, you can actually go all the way up to 1600 by 1200, or if you go down with the resolution of it, you can go to 32K or 64K colors, which is pretty awesome. And again, here you see options for large fonts and small fonts. So yeah, pretty cool. And yeah, these S3 drivers are freely available on the internet. If you do a Google search for s3drivers.zip, you should find them fairly readily. There's a fairly well-known DOS games hosting site that hosts the drivers. So yeah, install those. Good times. We get now 1024 by 768, 256 color video for this game, because this game does actually need all those colors. I don't know if it makes use of 5-color mode. If I actually ran in 32,000 colors, would it take advantage, or 64,000 colors, would it take advantage of those higher number of colors? I don't know. Anyway, I've been gabbling for 11 minutes now, so let's go ahead and run the game. Yeah. Oh, such impressive graphics. You can see why we needed all those colors. Eidolon, Millennium Auction.
Welcome to the auction house. I am very glad to see you have arrived. I am, of course, Nuria, and I shall be your guide.
Of course.
Through this labyrinth of art and desire. Please register at the info link.
When she starts off saying, "Welcome to the..." It reminds me uncannily of that GLaDOS AI remake. There's a song called "Welcome to the Internet," which is sung by some... Actually, I don't even remember the guy's name. There's a guy who does songs on the internet. He had a song called "Welcome to the Internet," and somebody else made an AI adaptation of it using GLaDOS's voice, GLaDOS from Portal. And it's really good. I actually encourage I encourage anyone who's a fan of GLaDOS to listen to it. The song is really good, and it sounds so perfect when GLaDOS sings. Like, the AI did a really good job of adapting it to sound like it's GLaDOS singing it. It is so good. So it's like, "Welcome to the internet." Okay, I'm not going to sing it now, but anyway, take a look if you're curious. So this is, I guess, the I don't know if I should call it the main menu. It's not even really a menu. It's a user interface. I'm not sure how to describe it. This user interface might be one of the most obtuse user interfaces I've ever seen. This was the kind of stuff that you got in the 1990s when everybody wanted to be all cool and cyberpunk. You would have ridiculous interfaces like this. So I don't even know what these funnels here at the bottom are supposed to be, but basically the way it works is you're supposed to take things from here. If you want to open something, you don't click on open, you have to drag open. So I'm dragging the open icon now, and I can open these things down here like this. Let's see if this happens, that means I can open the info link. I think you might also be supposed to do that with these 7 people here. So these 7 portraits are basically the 7 people who are going to participate in the Millennium Auction. So I guess you can like drag open onto them and look at their profiles, but I think you can just double click on them. Yeah.
Name, Renato Antonelli. Residence, Florence. National origin, Italian. Occupation, film director.
So I should mention this game takes place in what was then the near future. So this is one of those interesting cases where we are now, as I'm speaking, we are at a later point in history than the near future setting presented here. I believe this game takes place in the year 2000 and... The article on Obscuratory says it's the year 2011. I thought it was 2006 2006 or 2008 for some reason. Okay, 2011 is okay as well. But the point is, we're already past that. We're more than a decade past that by now. But when the game came out in the 1990s, that was still the future. That was still a decade or two in the future. And so the game will make references to things that have not aged well. There is a reference to Hillary Clinton being president. Which was probably a very considered a very I don't know if I should say ballsy, but certainly perhaps a daring prediction to make in the 1990s. Unfortunately, that prediction has not aged well today, but we won't talk about that. But anyway, so other things that are here, there's now a united Europe. So there's no such thing, I guess, in this future. The nations of Europe have been dissolved into one united Europe, which is kind of what's happened with the European Union, but not exactly, because the European Union is a supranational entity, which means it's not a country, it's a grouping of countries. Technically, the countries are still sovereign, but not exactly. Anyway, but yeah, so this woman's from Italy, from Florence, which I don't think she pronounced with a very Italian accent. Of course, it's Firenze in Italian, but anyway. I don't think there's much point to this. It's just, I mean, you can get these nice little, and if you double click here, you can come back here and see the other people's dossiers. Double click on the.
Name: Dieter Haas. Residence: Federated Monaco. National origin: German. Occupation: Private citizen.
Oh. I like that his occupation is a private citizen. What an occupation, sir. I don't know, his accent doesn't sound quite German to me, but what do I know? I'm not a German. But yeah, there's not really much point to looking at these. I mean, it's more like a matter of curiosity, but boy, that looks really horrifying when you see like this like X-ray view through the back of their skulls. You see their eyeballs just man, that's kind of weird. Basically, the point here is you're supposed to choose a character. You will be one of these 7 characters in the game.
Name:
But
Shantina, Sharilla Mae Washington. Residence: New York. National origin: American. Occupation: singer, founder, and owner. Sojourner Players and Direct Broadcast Teleperforming Company.
wow, I don't know. It's a bit. It's a bit silly. This woman is a singer, has a very American accent, but this guy is a private citizen, and he's like, oh, occupation, private citizen, yes, ho ho, yeah. I'm not going to go through all these. This guy, by the way, this Japanese guy here.
Name: Takeshi Mori. Residence: Los Angeles. National origin: Japanese. Occupation: founding president, cyber optics, virtual reality vision.
Again, this must have seemed very futuristic back then to have this guy with like a little visor in front of one of his eyes. They actually had virtual reality visors like that back in the day, but today this would look very antiquated. Of course, this is really old style. But anyway, yeah. So this guy, who's obviously a Japanese guy who now lives in Los Angeles, he usually wins. He's a very aggressive bidder at the auctions, and he somehow has a really good eye for the best deals. So I'm almost inclined to, you know what? I might play as this guy. Last time I played as Dieter, just because he's German, and I mean I'm not really German, but I live in Germany, so it's like okay, kind of fits, I guess maybe. But I should probably play as this guy because this guy usually wins. He's very savvy. So the way that you start the game is you drag this register thing, and you drag it over the person you want to play as.
Do you wish to register as Takeshi Mori?
I guess the logical answer is yes. I mean, I guess that's the reason why I did that.
The retinal scan will now verify your identity. Please look into the info link and focus on the lavender light.
Okay.
Thank you. The retinal scan has failed to match your identity with the print stored online. Please refocus on the lavender light while the scan performs another pass.
Hmm.
There appears to be a mismatch with the stored print. The retinal scan has imprinted your pattern and is transmitting it to Interpol for analysis. Please stand by. Kindly note that human impersonation is a level 11 violation, punishable by disconnection. If the transmitted print, Interpol Central Systems reports that your print has been verified and will update the dossier binary with your fresh print. We apologize for the delay. Central's migration to System 11B is apparently still incomplete.
Wow. That didn't happen last
Please
time.
stand by while funds are transferred from your private account to cover today's bidding. Now, please select your bidding key, the key with which you shall bid. You may choose any alphanumeric or function key on the keyboard.
So basically, you just press a key on the keyboard, and that's the key that you press to bid. There's not necessarily a lot of point to it because you can also just click to bid with the mouse, but if you want to use the keyboard, you can choose any key. I'll just press B for bid, but as you said, it can be any key, but I'll press B.
Please verify your bidding key by typing it again.
Okay.
Now.
Okay. Now.
Are there more bidders who wish to register?
So you can do this multiplayer. You can play this as a multiplayer game. That means that other people can also register, and you can play against them. But no, I'll just play against the computer. So no.
To close the info link and enter the gallery, drag the close hologram into the info link vortex, or
Right.
double right-click on the vortex.
Man, double right-click. That is a trip. When have you ever in your life seen any user interface that expects you to double right-click? Like double-click with the right mouse button. I don't think I've ever seen any program that does that. That's a new one for me. So, dossier is where we are here. That's these people, and I can double right-click here or drag close onto infolink to close the infolink and get to the game. But let me see. What is ArtNet? I haven't even checked these out. Does this work? Oh, I had to double left click. So this is the stuff that we're going to bid on at the auction. And actually, can I get, I guess I can get more details here. I don't know, gosh. I don't know if this information is meaningful at all. Wow. It's a level of detail I was not expecting. I guess I can, wow. I was not ready for this, to be honest. I guess technically I can, so I guess what you're supposed to do is do a bunch of research before you actually go to the bid. Like if you're a savvy business person, you're supposed to do a bunch of research to find out what you want to buy or what you should buy to get money. Because the point of this auction is not just to, yes, you can buy artworks, you can buy artwork for pleasure if you want, but it is a game, and the point of the game is to have the highest amount of money at the end. And the way you get money is basically by bidding for things in auctions and getting good deals on them, and then selling the things. So I guess you can come back here and sell things after you own them. I don't own anything yet, but let's see. What about portfolio? What does portfolio do? Okay, I guess this is empty for now. Maybe this will fill up later. Gosh, this is a level of detail that I wasn't prepared for. Sorry, folks. I really don't know how this works, to be honest. This whole user interface is just, it's really stymied me. You can click here to get help, or maybe you have to double click to get help. But the thing is, the help, there's no, well, let me show you.
You have activated the portfolio optical link. Gaze upon the lovely treasures you have acquired at today's auction here in the portfolio display area. Drag action holograms from the top of the screen and drop them onto whatever objects interest you. If you use an action hologram that does not apply to an object, don't worry, nothing will happen. To get help, just drop the help hologram on the object in question and listen closely. You will hear a help message explaining that object. For help on an action hologram, simply double-click on that hologram. Help is here to serve you.
Help is here to serve you. That's so passive aggressive. Honestly, I hate this is one of my pet peeves when you can't read. I don't mind necessarily that there's voice. I mean, voice is okay, but I really would like to have the ability to read along, and I hate not being able to read. That just is one thing that really irks me in any user interface. And again, this was what people thought would be futuristic back in the day. Back in the 1990s, people thought, wow, it's futuristic. People won't want to read anymore. They'll just listen to, some narration, some voice speaking. But reading is faster. Like, honestly, reading is way faster than listening to a voice. You can read faster than people can speak, unless you speed the voice way up, like unless you play the voice back at like 2 or 3 times the natural speed, at which point it becomes difficult to understand what people are saying. I vastly prefer reading. You can read way faster. Let me just get out of here. Let me just play the game, because I really have no idea what's going on here. And rather than sitting through interminable tutorial voice things like that, let's just start the game. So, yeah, this is also very typical sort of 1990s 3D art. This is what 3D art looked like in the 1990s. Quite badly applied textures in many cases, and really weird. Yeah, this is so typical 1990s 3D stuff. So here we go. So here are the 4 people playing, and I don't know. So we have 7 people here, but only 4 people actually partake in the auction. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't get it. Let's see. And you can, I guess, click on people here to start conversation.
There's something I've always wanted to know about you, Dieter. What were you up to during those years when you vanished?
There are things you cannot know, not like a naughty schoolgirl, but because they violate your nature. You are bright, a cone of light. The tiresome details of how I spent my time during those years would darken you too much.
Oh man, your details have become tiresome. Now it is the time of Millennium Auction when we bid. Oh man, I love that. Hold on, can we do that again?
There's something I've always wanted
Oh,
to know
man.
about you, Dieter.
Oh, I was gonna try and turn up the audio, and okay, hold on, let me try this again. I'm gonna play that again. I'm gonna crank up the audio so you can hear it a little better.
There's something I've always wanted to know about you, Dieter. What were you up to during those years when you vanished?
There are things you cannot know, not like a naughty schoolgirl, but because they violate your nature. You are bright, a cone of light. The tiresome details of how I spent my time during those years would darken you too much.
The tiresome details would darken you too much. There are things you cannot know, not like a naughty schoolgirl. Or I could go for a naughty schoolgirl. Okay, anyway. I don't know, man. I don't understand half of this stuff. Or maybe I understand about half of it, but not the other half. So anyway, so you start the game with $8.5 million in cash. Each of the 4 players here has 8.5 mil in cash. And that, of course, is also your net worth, because 8.5 plus 0 is 8.5. As you bid on things, as you start to, bid on things, if you win an auction, then obviously what you paid for the art piece that you won, whatever you paid for it, is deducted from your cash, but the value of what you bought is then put into your portfolio. So during the auction, your net worth stays at 8.5 because, whatever is subtracted from here is added to here. But the trick is, after the auction, the things that you won, the things that you actually won in the auction, are reappraised. And so the numbers here will change slightly to reflect the reappraised value. So as far as I can tell, and I don't know if this is correct, I don't know much about this game, to be honest, because I never played this game. I played the game for the first time yesterday. That was the first time in my life that I played the game, and I didn't really learn too much about it. It seems to me that the trick here is to do research ahead of time. Try to figure out ahead of time how much stuff is actually worth. When you're in the auction, items are given, they are shown with an appraised value, and like I'll say, I'm making air quotes, but you can't see it. They're sold with an appraised value, which means somebody's estimate as to what it's worth. But you can potentially buy things for less than they're worth if, I mean, it's an auction, so if nobody else bids, then you can get things for less than that appraised value. But even if you pay too much, sometimes it'll happen that you pay too much for something, or other people will pay too much, and so it seems like, okay, like it seems like they lost money because they went over the appraised value, but then after the auction, they'll be able to sell those things to someone and get a great deal because they sold those things for significantly above that so-called appraised value. So the appraised value is kind of a guideline. It's sort of like a, a basic sort of estimate as to kind of roughly what the thing is worth, but don't treat it as gospel. You can sell things for significantly above that appraised value, and you can also buy them, again, if nobody else wants to bid. It doesn't happen too often in this game, but it can happen that you get things for less than the appraised value. So before the auction, like if I click here in bidding room, that starts the actual auction. But before we go there, we want to do things like look at the catalog. And this will show you the different things that we will bid on in the game. So what is Saint Sebastian? It is, hold on, if I click here, it gives you text. So I'm not going to read all this, but it's a painting from Andrea Mantegna, I guess. Yeah, it's Saint Sebastian, which is a painting from Mantegna from 1460. You can click here to get information. It will tell you. I mean, this is basically just filler text. So this text here is not really important to the game at all, as far as I can tell. I'm pretty sure this is not important to the game. This is just background text. So this is kind of what I mean. This is absolutely in no way germane to the playing of the game. But don't treat Millennium Auction as just a game. Treat it as, again, as an art piece. It's an art piece about art pieces. It's a game that's a work of art about art and about bidding for art. So, I'm not going to read this here, but if you're actually playing this game, do take the time to read this. I mean, don't try to play this game in like 5 minutes. This is a game that you want to take some time to savor because it's a very silly game, as you've probably already seen. They did a lot of really weird things with the user interface and oh man, that woman's narration, like that woman's voice, the way that she intones things is just it's beyond hilarious. It's hilarious and wonderful. So take the time to enjoy this game. But I'm going to kind of speed through this because I don't want to make a video that's like 2 or 3 hours long. So I've already been going for more than half an hour. So I want to kind of keep this video to a reasonable length. So I'm not going to read all this, but here we've got a Greek M4. Check this out. It's a Greek M4 from 530 BC. My goodness. And it goes on. So, and these are different every time, by the way. So, you will see things like I mentioned Hillary Clinton. One of the items that you can bid on is Bill Clinton's saxophone. And if you have Bill Clinton's saxophone, then people will say, I didn't realize that Ms. Clinton played the saxophone. And then people say, no, it's not Hillary Clinton. It's her husband, Bill, who was the previous president who played the saxophone. Again, it didn't age very well, but that's something that's in the game. So stuff like that. Here we have the original camera tapes from the Apollo 11 moon landing. And my goodness. Wow, that's a great photograph. It was pretty awesome. Pretty nice of this guy to hover over the moon and take these photos, kind of stare creepily out at the moon and take photos during the Apollo 11 mission. It must have been really hard to do. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Oh man. Oh wow. Oh wow. They actually did this. And again, first made public in 2002. That's obviously now more than 20 years in the past, but at the time this game came out, it was still in the future. So, oh my goodness, they actually did this. Oh, and that's why this guy is here. That's why they have this guy here, because you see, okay, I get it. This is showing how the moon landing was faked, and this guy's taking photos or video or whatever. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. See, there's stuff like this. There's just stuff like this which 18 holes of human misery. What is this? It's a painting? Okay. Oh, it's a non-existent painting because the painting's also from 2002, and that was, again, after the game was made. That means that at the time the game was released, this was like an imaginary future painting. So, okay, yeah. Okay, so it's a golf. It's about golf. Wow. All this history, all this fake history, man, this is wonderful. This This is like a it's like an alternate history kind of. Oh man, I can't. So I guess this stuff is real. I mean, like, yeah, ethnic cleansing of Bosnia from 1993, 94. I mean, that was real. Um, so there's like stuff here that's real, and then there's stuff that's obviously, yeah, like Hole 17, 1999, 2002. These were still in the future, like at the time the game came out. So this is it's simultaneously such a wonderful send up of art. Like it's a send up of the ridiculous pretentiousness of art like this, and at the same time, it sort of plays along. It's like one of these magnificently sort of wink wink kind of things where it's like, yeah, we're kind of satirizing it a little bit, but it's not that far from satire. I mean, there is a serious message here. I mean, obviously, with the nuclear explosion in the background while people are playing golf, it's like it's a mixture of a serious message with kind of like, ha ha, lol, let's laugh at those pretentious art people. So it's like, yeah, we're making jokes about pretentious art people, but we're also making. Okay, anyway. So this is all very well and good. I mean, this is good fun, but actually, none of this has any bearing on the game itself. I don't think because wow, this is that famous cave painting dated to 15,000 BC. Oh wow. Okay. So anyway, you could have a lot of fun looking at these things here, but this is just for fun. This has no bearing on the game, but I encourage you, if you play this game, to actually do this. This is an experience to be savored slowly rather than just to kind of blast through it. This is not a game that you play like a first-person shooter trying to speedrun. I mean, speedrunning this doesn't make much sense. There's no point to it. And if you look around here, you can also go. Let's see, what's this?
No one will speak about it on the record, but a heated competition is developing between the British Museum and the Greek Museum of Antiquities. The Greeks feel that their heritage should entitle them to the right of first refusal on all Greek antiquities offered for sale by private owner. The British, on the other hand, with the world's largest collection of ancient Greek art outside of Greece, are refusing to let the Greeks buy up all the extant pieces without a fight.
Kind of timely, considering that there are actually similar conflicts going on in the world. Like, I think Egypt is a major contender in this area. Like, there's so much Egyptian art that is exhibited outside of Egypt, and Egyptian people say, hey, that's our stuff. Like, it should actually be in Egypt and not in. Anyway, not going to get into that, obviously, but yeah, I mean, that's a thing. So if we click here, that takes us to this room.
Hello, Mr. Mori. Did you bring the mahjong? Sure, I'm a character. Who isn't? And speaking of characters, what a set of them we have in this auction house, eh, Taggy?
Now, I don't know exactly who this guy is. I get the impression that he's kind of like a security guard, like he's supposed to be the security guard watching here, looking at the security cameras, but he's not really. Like, he's not looking at security cameras, he's looking at this. And if you click here,
the excavation teams working at the Ferris Mott site near Pittsburgh failed to turn up anything more dramatic than a rusted box of tools today. The caves were formerly the location of the largest self-run homeless camp in the nation back in the 90s. Speculation had been rife that the diggings might yield some long-sought items, in particular the engineering and architectural plans of Benjamin Mott. Mott, christened the Leonardo of the streets by the tabloids, was known to have lived at the camp for a 4-year stretch just before the millennium. In the year 2000, he emerged from obscurity with a fully developed handheld supercomputer. The Mott, as computer buffs know, became the processing model for the Telewing, itself the predecessor of the now ubiquitous Infolink. Mott himself disappeared in 2007. His whereabouts and his existence still a mystery.
I hope that that's not too quiet. I always have problems balancing my sound levels because in OBS, the game audio looks quiet. Like, looking at the audio mixer, the game audio looks significantly quieter than my voice. But often when I play videos back, the game audio is actually louder than I thought. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit because I do want people to be able to hear the dialogue. I just don't want it to be overwhelmingly loud. But I've cranked it up a little bit. Hopefully that will help. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, this guy's just watching the news. Like, I don't know what this guy's job is. Like, I assume he must have some kind of job here. Oh, he fell asleep. But he wakes up when he look at the newspaper. So, a rash of Germans. Oh, wow. That's interesting. This is remarkably timely and prophetic. I mean, even right down to the orange color, because um, if you're watching this as I make the video, you'll know, but for future audiences who may watch this in the future, and there has been a rash of of vandalistic attacks on artworks in museums by environmental activists who are basically saying, who cares about this art? The planet is dying. We need to take immediate action on climate change. Who cares about a bunch of people looking at all these old paintings? We need to think about climate change. And they've been throwing orange paint on classic works of art. So this is actually, this is actually not about, they're not throwing paint, they're throwing bacteria that eat away paint, but it's kind of a similar idea. Looks kind of similar.
That smell will waft through here too before too long. Just mark my words.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway. So yeah. So you can click on the TV screen there and the newspaper there. It seems like most of the other things here are not interactive. I can't click on the guy. Like you'd think maybe we could click on the guy and have a chat with him, but I can't seem to do that. So I don't really.
The Bureau of Astrology announced today that the moon would enter Neptune at 1:31 tomorrow morning. A mood swing advisory has been issued for Capricorns, Gemini, and Pisces. Now this. Yes, it's true. 9 out of 10 doctors recommend a full screening for deviant genetic material. And now you can do it in the privacy of your own home. How? With SelfScan, the only legally available genetic screening device on the market today. SelfScan is used by millions around the globe and in the off-world stations, and user satisfaction is very high. Why worry about genetic integrity when you can be sure? Order SelfScan today. Available at all mobile and stationary pharmaceutical dispensaries. World body approval pending. Use at your own risk.
So, you see these sort of glimpses of genius. The thing about genius is that it's part. It's part good, like it's part what we know as genius, like it's partly incisive insight and the remarkable ability to prophesize, like to predict things that come with that insight. But it's also this sort of madness, this ridiculous sort of absurdity and madness that tends to creep in when you think like a genius. So this game really is like it's genius in its purest form. It is so bizarre, it's so wacky. And yet, there are all these glimpses of...
Dear Bidder, do use your eyes and ears. The world is rich with information.
Oh, man. Oh, man, that narration. Oh, man, I love that narration so much. Oh, man, I love the way she... Oh, the world is rich with... information. Oh wow. Oh, that's so wonderful. Oh, I love this so much. Yeah. So yeah, this really is like a work of mad genius. Like people like marketing do-it-yourself genetic products that help you manage your genes and your DNA. Obviously today there's the most well-known company is 23andMe, but there are other similar companies that kind of do similar things that help you manage your genes. This was really a prediction of... Anyway, so if you leave a place, it tries to warn you that you haven't seen anything and asks, do you still want to leave? So if I say no, I don't know what I'm missing, though. Like, that's the thing. I looked at the newspaper, I turned on the radio, turned on the TV. Oh, interesting. Okay, something about a peace plan. So, I think... Remember there was that artist... this is talking about that artist who made that golf painting with the nuclear explosion on it. I think The reason why you're supposed to do this is kind of research on the works of art. The idea here is that because the World Body Council is pointing to the last work of this artist, probably that work that is being auctioned off, that will probably impact the value of the painting. I'm going to guess it will increase the value of the painting. So what may happen, I'm going to guess, this is just my guess, I don't know this for a fact because I don't know much about this game. Again, I'm certainly not an expert on this game. Intuitively, I'm guessing that's what's happening here is you're supposed to understand that because this is in the newspaper, this is now going to increase the value of that painting. That means, I'm guessing, again, I'm just guessing, that the appraised value that we will see for this painting is significantly lower than what it is actually going to be worth. That means that you can probably get the painting, because other people might not know this, other people at the auction might not have read this newspaper article, so they might not know that the World Body Council is doing this, and you may be able to snap up the painting. It may be worth trying to grab that painting for a higher value than the appraised value, because you can then later sell it for an even higher price to get profit. Get more than your money back. So I think that's the point here. I think the whole point of all this is you're supposed to kind of gather information about stuff and kind of get the idea, okay, this is actually going to be worth more because of recent events. This might be worth less. There might also be an event that lowers the value of a piece of work, like maybe the artist, I don't know, was involved in some scandal. And so that might negatively impact the value of the artist's works, just as when a company is involved in a scandal, it lowers the value of that company's stock, typically lowers the value of the company's stock on the stock market. So it's kind of like that. So it's kind of like
a heroin tour. Yep, I think so.
So you'll notice that this eye symbol is crossed out when, I guess that means you've seen all there is to see there. But here on the newspaper, it's not crossed out. So I'm guessing the idea is that I can see several newspaper articles here, and yeah, magic bullet may stray. Okay, you know what? Abracabluey. You know what? I'm not going to read all these because okay, I think we're done here anyway. So if I go back to the gallery,
time flows like a river. So paddle on by, you hear?
Wow. Wow. I'm reminded of, you know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of Paradise Cracked, which is a similar kind of idea. Like it's an RPG, it's a tactical RPG, but it's ridiculous. Like the voice acting in the game is so bad. Like the voice acting itself is not bad, but the things that people say are just ridiculous. Your main character, the character that you start as, who's just named Hacker, by the way, because he's a hacker. Get it? Lol. He's a hacker, so they called him Hacker. That's very creative, right? He will just if you have him do anything, he will just suddenly say, "Still alive, but not for long." Oh, I'm gonna change something in my inventory. I'm still alive, but not for long. It's like Keanu Reeves in a. Oh my goodness, it's the same kind of thing. It's wonderful. By the way, I should address this in a larger video someday. Okay, but since I'm talking about this game, I'm going to mention this here for anyone who's actually still watching this. Voice acting nerds. If you are a voice acting nerd, I've been meaning to make a separate video about this because I'm really, 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 really curious. In that game, Paradise Cracked, specifically the English dub, it's originally a Russian game. It's actually a Russian game that was re-released in an English version. But in the English release of Paradise Cracked, the first character that you meet, not your first character, like the first player character, but the first character that you meet and whom you can add to your party, he's called Job. His name is Job in the game. I feel very certain, I feel very, very sure that voice actor who plays Job in Paradise Cracked is the same voice actor who did Bob Page in Deus Ex. If you listen to his voice, you'll hear what I mean. I feel very sure that it's the same voice actor. Interestingly enough, the voice actor is not credited in Paradise Cracked, so I don't know what the guy's name is. What's the name of the guy who did it for Deus Ex? Well, let me see. I can probably find out the name of the voice actor from Deus Ex. Let's see. Deus Ex voice actors. Gonna look it up. Gonna look it up on. I'm gonna use the Google. I use the Google. Let's see. Actors. Okay, on IMDb. IMDb is maybe not the best. Okay, what the heck? I'll try it on IMDb. Can I see it here on IMDb? Where could I get the? The thing that bothers me about IMDb is it shows you like all these little. Okay, I don't want to. Okay, all cast and crew. Here we go. All cast and crew of Deus Ex. Who played Bob Page? Bob Page was played by Cliff Stevens. Cliff Stevens. So I feel very sure that Cliff Stevens is the guy who voices Job in the English dub of Paradise Cracked. Can anyone confirm? Can anyone confirm this? Because I am super curious. Okay, back to Millennium Auction. So we can go back to the info link. We can go look at the catalog. We already did that. I think it's time to do the bidding room. Let's. This is going on
May
long.
I suggest you look a bit further before leaving? Are you sure you wish to leave?
She sounds like Gladys, doesn't she? Like this woman's voice, actually, she sounds remarkably like Gladys. Is this the same woman? I really very much doubt. What's the woman's name? I think she's named Ellen McLean. Is that right? I want to say that's the name of the woman who did Gladys. I doubt that this is the same woman, but she sounds very, very much like Gladys. So again, it's saying we haven't seen everything. There's more to see. You know what? I just want to get to. Let's just get to the game. I'll just say yes. I want to leave. So we go to the bidding room. Here we go. So here are the 4 people who will play. So I'm playing as Takeshi Mori, and this is the apparently mononymous Shantina. Here is Rashid Ahmad. He is, I believe, Middle Eastern based on his name. I didn't look at his profile, but I'm going to guess he's Middle Eastern. And here is Dita Haas. So click on Send Your Winner for next auction item. Okay, let's go.
Our next item. Mantegna's Saint Sebastian, circa 1460. Oh, the agony, the aching beauty. Suffering has never seemed closer to divine, the renewal of faith more seductive. Sebastian, a Roman martyr of the 3rd century, survived the Emperor Diocletian's slings and arrows only to die by the club. He became a favorite of Renaissance painters, who often pictured him in the fey, provocative pose he takes here. But Mantegna's dramatic treatment transforms it to one of piercing ecstasy, a glorious gift to any collection.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. So, oh my goodness. Oh, it's so good. This is so perfect. I love this. Oh, it's so good. You'll notice the woman's narration is different from the text. So the text here is like a more neutral, like it's a more factual kind of text. That's something you get from an encyclopedia article. But the woman's narration, she tries to sell the painting. So she sells this painting with this weirdly sort of sexy delivery. Even when she's talking about this guy who's been shot through with arrows, she like narrates it in such a bizarrely kind of sexy way. It reminds me of Dita from Sprockets, because he would always do the same thing. Like he would show these horrible videos of people suffering, and then he would say, "Oh, exquisite. Yes, his suffering is delightful. No, yeah." Yeah, it's like, again, is this parody or is this tribute? I mean, I guess it's both. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, shall we begin?
Yes, let's begin.
Have you all gone to sleep?
This guy will get upset if you make him wait. You need to click to begin the bidding, but if you don't click, he'll complain. Okay, he just said you've all gone to sleep. Okay.
The bid shall start at $1 million.
Okay, so you can see the appraised value is $2.0 million. So,
Dieter, $1 million.
So Dieter started the bidding.
All right. Nothing? Chantina, 1.1. Shall we move? Well. More? Thank you. Mr. Ahmad, 1.2. Yes? It's against you, Shantina. All right, Mr. Haas, 3. Please. Yes. Rashid, 4. It's against you, Dieter. Mr. Haas, 5. 6. Well, shall we move? Dieter, 7. It's against you, Rashid. I knew you could do it. Miss Chantina, 1.8. It's against you, Dieter. I knew you could do it. Mr. Haas, 1.9. I'm waiting. Mr. Ahmad, 2 million. Shall we move? Okay, Mr. Haas, 1. It's against you, Rashid. All right, Chantina, 2. Who's next? Yes, Mr. Ahmad, 3. It's against you, Shantina. Well, Dieter, 2.4. Okay, Miss Chantina, 5. It's against you, Dieter. That's more like it. Rashid, 2.6. It's against you, Shantina. Miss Chantina, 2.7.
Wow.
It's against you, Rashid. Mr. Ahmad, 8. Well, thanks. Mr. Haas, 9. Chantina, 3 million. It's against you, Dieter.
I'm not doing anything, by the way.
Nothing? We're going. Wait no more. Grabbed. Sold to Chantina, 3 million.
So you can see Shantina's... Actually, no. I said your money stays at 8.5. That's not true. Shantina appears to have lost $1 million because she paid $3 million for a painting that was only appraised as having $2 million worth. So she's down to, so she has only $5.5 million cash in hand now, and her portfolio is only assessed as having a value of $2 million. I'm going to assume that people here had some kind of inside information that the painting is worth more than they thought it was, worth more than this appraised value. Again, who appraised it at $2 million? I don't know. This is just some value that somebody just pulled out of the air. I'm assuming it's probably based on something, but again, you can probably sell the things that you win at the auction for much more. Well, I mean, not necessarily much more, not like twice as much necessarily, but, at least in this case, Shantina bid 50% more than it was worth. And I'm going to assume that she didn't do that out of just sheer hubris. She probably had a reason for that. She probably thinks she can get more than $3 million for the painting. So that's why she did that. So it goes like this. So let's go ahead and click for the next item.
Our next item, Greek amphora. Man, the greatest marvel of all. That spirit lives through the work of the artist in this gorgeous example of century BC ceramics, forged in the red-hot fires of the past.
Yes.
Beautiful example of
Red-hot fire.
And suitable for
I'm sorry. I know I'm a Philistine.
Ladies and gentlemen, shall we begin? Ladies, gentlemen, whatever, let's get started.
I know that I'm kind of ruining it with my reactions here, but first of all, I don't want this to take all day, and I'd like to actually get moving. And I just find her narration so wonderful.
Initially at 1.1.
So all of this happens by itself, pretty much. Like, I'm not doing anything. Last time I didn't do anything. I just watched.
Miss Chantina,
You can click on yourself here, so I can click on myself here to bid, or I can press the bid key, which I remember was
That's
B.
more like it. Mr. Haas, 1.2.
So I'm going to press
You,
B.
Shantina. Mr. Mori, 3.
There we go. I
It's
bid.
against you, Dieter.
So I bid for
Mr.
the
Ahmad,
painting,
4.
or not the painting, the amphora. But
Okay, Dieter, 6.
the thing is,
Chantina,
I
7.
just don't know how far to go,
Mr. Haas,
because
8. Shall we move? Yes? That's more like it. Mr. Ahmad, 1.9. 2 million. Who's next? Really? Thank you. Chantina, 2.1. Yes, Mr. Ahmad, 2.2. It's against you, Shantina. Dieter, 3. Yes, I'm waiting.
people start clapping when they go over the. It's
That's it?
kind of like.
We're going. Thank you. Mr. Ahmad, 2.4. It's against you, Dieter. All right, Chantina, 5. 6. I knew you could do it. Chantina, 2.7. Who's next? With Miss Chantina, 2.7. Mr. Haas, 8. 9. Yes? Thanks. Miss Chantina, 3 million. 3 million. Thanks. Mr. Haas, 1. It's against you, Shantina. Rashid, 2. With Mr. Ahmad, 3.2. It's against you, Dieter. Are we done? Okay. Nothing else? Grabbed. Sold to Rashid Ahmad, 3.2.
So it's kind of funny how people are clapping because, I mean, people start clapping when people go significantly over the appraised value of the item. It's kind of funny because it's like, I guess they're clapping for people's bravery, for people's courage and audacity in bidding so much. But it could just as well be the opposite, that people just threw away a ton of money for no reason. Yeah, these people are bidding very aggressively, and you can do the same. I mean, you can outbid them obviously, and you can win the item. But then the thing is, are you going to be able to get the value back, or did you just throw your money away? It's like a game of poker. It's kind of like poker. It's like everybody's trying to up the bid, and people aren't really sure. Is it smart to up the bid? Like, is it actually smart to bid more, or should I just stand and step back? It's like nobody's really sure. Is this thing really worth the money that I'm bidding for it, or am I going to lose all that money?
Our next item, Vincent van Gogh, self-portrait with bandaged ear, 1889. This matchless Van Gogh captures the artist's agonizing self-scrutiny. To think he lived and died penniless, and that...
Why did she first say Van
Ladies
Gogh,
and
and then she said Van Gogh?
Shall we begin?
So she totally changed her narration style.
To sleep, perchance to dream.
Yeah.
But no, onward.
Onward, yeah. This guy has a lot of lines when he gets upset with you not clicking on him.
Let's begin at 1.2.
This painting's only valued at 2.5 million. Well, okay, to be fair, a Greek amphora from the ancient, from
All right, I'm waiting.
from antiquity is probably worth more than, even worth more than a Van Gogh painting.
4.
So, I mean, I'll try to bid, but
Takeshi, 5.
I just don't know how much this stuff is worth.
Yes, Chantina, 6. It's against you, Takeshi. I'm waiting.
Again, 2.5 is a decent baseline value, but I just...
With Mr. Haas, 1.7. Mr. Ahmad, 8. All right. Closing? I knew you could do it. Miss Chantina, 1.
I just don't know how to know what's valuable and what's not. Like, how do you know...
Thank you. Mr. Ahmad, 2 million.
How do you know what you can actually make a profit
All right,
on?
Chantina, 1. Shall we move? With Miss Chantina, 2.1. Yes, Mr. Ahmad, 2. I'm waiting. Who's next? Yes, Chantina, 3. Mr. Ahmad, 4. It's against you, Chantina. Well, Chantina, 2.5. It's against you, Rashid. Are we done? Well, Dieter, 2.6. Please, it's against you, Dieter. Dieter, 8. 9.
I'm going to go ahead and
Mori,
bid,
3 million.
just so that I have something.
With Mr. Mori, 3 million. Mr. Ahmad, 1.
Okay, Ahmad outbid me.
Takeshi, 2.
I'll try again.
Shall we move? Please. That's it? That's more like it. Miss Chantina, 3.
Wow.
3.
Wow,
All
people
right,
are
Rashid.
really bidding aggressively
Well,
here.
With Mr. Ahmad, 3.4. Thank you. Dieter, 3.
Wow.
5. Thanks. Chantina, 6.
Oh, wow.
Who's next?
People are going over one...
Is that
people are,
all?
People are going more than 1
I
million
knew
over the
you could
appraised
do it.
value.
Dieter, 3.7.
Wow.
Closing? Thank you. Rashid, 3.8. Shall we move? Yes? Well, Chantina, 3.9. Well, it's against you, Rashid. Nothing? Shut down? Nothing else? Snagged. Sold to Chantina, 3.9.
I mean, so that's the thing. It's like a poker game. You don't know whether these people are bluffing. Like, she's so proud of herself because she paid 3.9 million for this Van Gogh. I mean, I'm sure it's valuable, but how valuable? How much is she going to get for it? I really don't know.
Our next item, the Nature Dome, Toronto, 21st century.
Oh.
Care for an intoxicating whiff of real air? How about a romp in the, dare we say it, grass?
Grass.
Yes, bidders, a relic from a time gone by when nature spoke to humankind in her own tongue. You may hear her still if you do her bidding.
Okay, so they're predicting the demise of professional baseball in 1999. So this is a reference to the Sky Dome, which is a sports stadium, and I guess it's also used as an event arena and stuff like that in Toronto, Canada. So yeah, it is among other things used as a baseball stadium. So they're predicting that baseball died in 1999, and new uses were then sought for empty ballparks, and so this was basically turned into like a park. Okay, a bold prediction. So yeah, mixture of predictions that kind of hit close to the mark and predictions that were kind of going in a direction of that's sort of almost came true, and then there are things that are just like, no, way off, totally.
Ladies and gentlemen, shall we begin? I can barely contain my excitement. Nuria, my pills, please, quick. Initially at 0.7.
Okay, all right. Wait, are we bidding for the dome
Rashid,
itself?
7. Chantina, 8.
I thought we were bidding for a picture of the dome, but are we actually
Peter,
bidding
9.
for the dome itself, or just a picture of it?
Mr. Ahmad, 1 million. Please. Yes? Okay. Chantina, 1. Okay.
I'm
two,
going to bid
3.
just so we have something, because what happens is
Shall we move?
after every 4
Peter,
items,
4.
there's a pause. There's like a
Well,
recess.
It's against you, Takeshi.
So if I don't win this,
Thank you, Takeshi.
then I won't have anything in hand after the auction
Please.
is over. So
Well, Takeshi.
I'm going to go ahead and aggressively bid for this because I really want this, just so I can
Against
show you what
Chantina.
it's like.
Shall we move? Nothing? No more? Down she goes. Sold to Takeshi Mori, 1.7.
Splendid. There'll be more glorious items to auction in the next round. Meanwhile, enjoy.
Enjoy. Oh, that's wonderful. So yeah, so there are 3 rounds of bidding, and in each of the 3 rounds there are 4 items. So that was the first round of bidding, and now we're back here, and now I guess it's the time that we try to sell stuff. So if you go back here to InfoLink, right, now's a good time to go to our portfolio here. And yeah, all prices are in UN dollars. That's also a prediction that didn't come true, obviously. So what do we have? We have the Nature Dome, which is appraised at having a value of 1.2 million. We paid 1.7 million for it. So question now is period 21st century. Yeah. Question now is, what do we do with it? Do we try to? Let's see. How do I try to sell this? Oh, we go here to sell. Okay. Oh.
Do you wish to sell this item?
Would you like to sell the Nature Dome to Nikita Chichersk? I think that's right. Chichersk for 1.1 million. No. First of all, it has an appraised value. Okay. I was going to say it has an appraised value of 1.4 million, and I paid 1.7 million for it. Okay, to be fair, Mr. Chichersk probably doesn't care what I paid for it. He doesn't really give a care if I paid 500 million for it. He's not going to care that I paid too much for it. But if it has an appraised value of 1.4 million, why is he only offering 1.1? I mean, again, there must be reasons for that. But if I say no, and if we come back and try again.
Do you wish to sell?
Oh, wait. I see. The price is already on these things. Okay, not these 3, because I don't have these 3 things. These 3 were bought by other bidders, but I have this. So let's see if I click on this. Do I only have the one bidder? Or the one option? Okay, I see. So these are the offers, I guess, that you... That doesn't really make sense, though, because... So, okay, so for the next round, let's take a look. So Magic Bullet. I guess this is the appraised... No, wait, no, that's not the appraised value. That's the offering value. That's the offered price, isn't it? Looks like somebody's offering to pay 2.6 mil for this. But what's all this about 6.3 million, 7.2 million, 19.7 million? What is this? Oh, I see. This is groups of other things, I guess. Okay, so what I should do actually is come here and look at the offered prices, not the bid prices, like not the appraised value shown at the auction, but what people are actually offering here. So, do I want to note this down? You know what? Let me take a picture of this. I have a smartphone with me. I don't own a smartphone personally, but I have one from work, and so when I have it at home, I sometimes use it for functions such as this. So, I guess I can reference this. So the Magic Bullet is somebody wants to buy the Magic Bullet for 2.6 million. Okay, I should be using this as a reference for how high to bid, not that appraised value. All right, let's try this then. Let's go ahead and close the info link. And let's give this a try and see if I have better success doing this. And you know what? It doesn't really matter. I was going to say I should sell this thing. I mean, there's not much point in keeping it in my inventory, actually. I guess I might as well sell it at a loss. I mean, I'm going to lose money because this guy, Chichersk is offering 100,000 less than what I paid for it, but I guess there's no point in keeping it. I mean, I don't really want to...
Do you wish to sell?
Yeah,
Your
sell it.
transaction has been verified.
Cool, thanks. Okay, so I guess I'm... Oh, I was going to say I lost 100,000, but no, I lost 600,000 because I paid 1.7 million for that thing, and he only offered 1.1 million, so I actually lost 0.6 million, so I lost 600,000 bucks. Wow, that sucked. Okay, let's try this now. Let's try...
Things remain unseen.
Yeah, let's go. Boy, that woman's voice. I will never get tired of that woman's narration. It's just so great. All right, let's go.
Our next item. The Magic Bullet from the Kennedy Assassination, 1963. Who says politicians have no imagination? In the Warren Report, respected representatives of the public trust reached for a Looney Tunes solution to an unexplainable theory. Perhaps they were trying to lighten the national mood. No careers in comedy ensued for the senators involved, but the bullet, remarkably pristine after its many labors, is here today, fully intact. A bewildering opportunity.
Is this real? Like, that's the thing. This is kind of predicting the problem of fake news on the internet because it's, well, I mean, this is not really the internet, but I don't know if this is real. That's the thing. It's like, you know, sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. I really don't know whether this is something that really happened, because the Kennedy assassination obviously happened decades before the game came out. This was not in the future at the time of the game's release. So is this real? Or did they just falsify history as well? I don't know. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen,
appraised value is...
Shall we begin?
So appraised value is 2.5.
My God, it's alive! Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're such a comedian, sir. Crud, my photo that I took is actually a little bit blurry, but it looks like somebody was offering 2.6 million for this. So what we should do is bid up, actually... If we get it for 2.5 million, then we get $100,000 profit if we sell it for 2.6. If we can bid at 2.6, but then what's the point? Then we basically got our money back. There was no profit then. There's no point in doing that. And if we bid more than 2.6 million, then we've just lost money on it. So I'm gonna bid as high as the appraised value, but not beyond that.
For this, we really must begin at 1.2.
Okay.
2. Well, Dieter, 3. With Mr. Haas, 1.3.
I'm just going to keep bidding
Takeshi, 4.
until it gets to
Thanks,
2.5.
Mr. Ahmad, 5, 6, 7. Please. Okay, Mr. Mori, 8. It's against you, Rashid. Yes, Mr. Ahmad. 9. It's against you, Takeshi. All right, Takeshi. 2 million. Who's next? Miss Chantina. 1, 2. With Mr. Ahmad. 2.2. Yes, Miss Chantina. 3. It's against you, Rashid. Mr. Haas. 4. Okay, Chantina. 5. Mr. Ahmad. 6. I'm waiting. Really? Ah, Mr. Haas. 2.7. Mr. Ahmad. 9. Please, Mr. Haas. 3 million. I'm waiting. With Mr. Haas. 3 million. Chantina. 1. With Miss Chantina. 3.1. It's against you, Dieter. Mr. Ahmad. 2. 3. With Mr. Haas. 3.3.
Bid over reserves, Shantina.
Yes, Mr. Ahmad. 3.4. Please.
No more bids, please, Shantina.
Thank you. Mr. Haas. 3.5. I'm waiting. Nothing?
I'm not touching this.
All's quiet? That's more like it. Rashid. 3.6.
I
Shall
don't
we
think
move?
I don't think I'm gonna get 3.6 for
More?
this.
No more? Wait, no more. Sold to Rashid Ahmad. 3.6.
You heard the woman saying bid over reserves Shantina and no more bids Shantina. That was Shantina trying to bid, but Shantina is almost out of money. You can actually go into the negative. The game does let you go into the negative, but I think the maximum is like negative 2 million, and we were already at, actually that would, yeah, that's close. Yeah, like if Shantina were to bid at the current level of 3.6 million, that would put her into minus 2 million. You can go into negative territory, but the game doesn't let you go too far into negative territory. I don't know, man. Why did Mr. Ahmad? I find it funny that the auctioneer switches between addressing us by first name and last name. Sometimes he says Mr. Ahmad, and sometimes he says Rashid, or he'll call us Takeshi or Mr. Mori. Anyway, I don't know why Rashid Ahmad did this. Does he really think he's going to get 3.6 mil when somebody's just offering 2.6 mil for this bullet? I don't know. Does he have, I mean, that's the thing. You never know. Are these people just fools? Like, are they just noobs? Or do they have some kind of secret inside information? I mean, I'm the noob. I'm the one who's probably not playing the game properly. But anyway.
Our next item. Penn Jacobs. 18 Holes of Human Misery. 2002. A modern Stations of the Cross, this innovative site-specific work is the living legacy of a gifted artist. Penn Jacobs is tragically no longer with us, but this profound gaze into the face of modern horror can imbue us with the insights which cost him his life. A peerless work of unblinking apprehension, and yours for the highest bid.
Surprisingly unhumorous narration. For one, she narrated it fairly straight, without hilarious flourishes. But yeah. So this is the guy whom we saw was involved in some kind of marketing. I don't know if marketing campaign is the right word, or phrase. It's not. It's 2 words actually. But I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive on this, because I know that there's some kind of event happening now that will increase. That means that the guy's works will appreciate in value. On the sales screen, I saw this was going for 1.8 million. So let's see, what's the appraised value here?
Ladies and gentlemen,
it's also 1.8
shall we
million.
begin? Ladies, gentlemen, whatever, let's get started.
I'm trying to see if he has any other messages. I mean, last time he started singing, "It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas."
The bidding for this item will begin at 0.9. Yes, Chantina, 9. Who's next? Ah, Mr. Ahmad, 1 million. It's against you, Chantina. That's more like it. Chantina, 1.1. Dieter, 2, 3, 4. Please. Well, okay, Dieter, 5, 1.5. Okay, Mr. Ahmad, 6. I'm waiting. Yes, Mr. Haas, 7, 1.7. It's against you, Rashid. I knew you could do it. Mr. Ahmad, 1. 2.8. With Mr. Ahmad, please. Yes, Mr. Haas. 9. Thank you, Mr. Mori.
I put in a
2
bid.
million.
Oh,
1.
and Dieter Haas overbid me again. All right, I'll bid again.
Mr. Mori. 2. It's against you, Dieter. I'm waiting. All right, Mr. Haas. 3.
Come
It's
on.
against you, Takeshi. Thanks, Takeshi. 4. It's against you, Dieter. Shall we move? All right, Miss Chantina. 5. Well, it's against you, Takeshi. Shall we move? I knew you could do it. Takeshi. 2.6. Shall we move? More? That's all. Nothing else? Sold to Takeshi Mori. 2.6.
I bid aggressively for this painting because I know that there is some recent good publicity, which hopefully should increase the value of that guy's paintings. So hopefully that will get us where we want to be. But considering that the last sale price that we saw for this painting was 1.8 million, I kind of doubt that I'm going to get 2.6 million back for that. Seems unlikely. I feel like I lost money on that, but I don't know. Like, what are you supposed to do?
Our next item, cave painting from the Hall of the Bulls, circa 15,000 BC. Let me take you back to the dawn of civilization, when cave painting was the center of underground art. Primitive, yes, but how it glows. A lyrical dance to the wildebeest in all of us. How blessed the bidder who protects it from extinction.
The wildebeest in all of us. Gonna take you back to the past. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, shall we begin? Ladies, gentlemen, whatever.
He's doing the
Let's
same
start
lines.
the bidding at 1.3.
All right. Is this? I mean, I feel like this should be worth a lot. Like, come
Mr.
on,
Ahmad,
it's
3.
it's a painting dating back to
Miss Chantina,
15,000
4.
BC. It's like,
Okay,
yeah, it's a
Rashid, 5,
simplistic painting,
6.
but that's not the point.
It's against you, Rashid.
Seems like something that should be very valuable. Hold on,
Thank
what
you.
was the price
Miss
that we
Chantina,
saw?
1.7. I'm waiting.
Somebody wanted to pay
Rashid, 8.
2.5 for this.
1.8.
Only?
Yes, Dieter,
Only
9.
2.5?
That's more like it. Miss Chantina, 2 million. Thanks, Dieter, 1. It's against you, Chantina. Yes? Okay, Rashid, 2. Who's next? It's against you, Dieter. Mr. Haas, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm waiting. Mr. Haas, 7. It's against you, Chantina. With Mr. Haas, 2.7. Yes, Chantina, 8.
I just don't get it.
Rashid, 9. Shall we move?
Somebody wants
I'm
to pay
waiting.
2.5 million for this.
Are we done?
How are you going to make a
Thank
profit
you,
with that?
Dieter. 3 million.
I don't get the point.
1, 2. I'm waiting. Yes, Mr. Haas. 3.3. Well, all right.
Bid over reserves, Shantina. Bid over reserves, Rashid. No more bids, please, Shantina. No more bids, please, Rashid.
Nothing? All's quiet? Down she goes. Snagged. Sold to Dieter Haas. 3.3.
You cannot know what I did like a naughty schoolgirl.
Our next item, original Apollo 11 moon landing tapes, 1969. Are we rolling, Buzz? This was what alerted investigators to the most successful non-event of the Cold War, the famous faked moon landing of 1969.
Oh, man.
A cow may as well have jumped over it. The complete tapes, including outtakes.
Oh, man. A cow might as well have jumped over it.
Ladies and gentlemen, shall we begin? I can barely contain my
Yeah.
The
All right.
bid shall start at 0.7. 7. Please.
Wait, what did somebody want to pay for this?
Yes, Rashid. 8.
1.5?
It's against
only?
you, Dieter. Yes, Miss Chantina. 9.
So
Rashid,
somebody want to pay
1
1.5 million for
Well,
this.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Well, Dieter, 1.1. It's against you, Rashid. All right, Rashid, 2.
Okay, I'll bid.
Takeshi, 3. All right, Mr. Ahmad, 4. Yes, Dieter, 5. Okay, Shantina. 6, 7, 8. I'm waiting with Miss Shantina. 1.8. Dieter. 9. It's against you, Shantina. Really? Shut down? There she goes. Seized. Sold to Dieter Haas. 1.9.
Another round is done. Please amuse yourselves until the next.
Dieter, what are you going to do with what you've won? I cannot tell you. It would destroy you. This dark knowledge would destroy you. There are things you cannot know, like a naughty schoolgirl. Actually, no, he said not like a naughty schoolgirl. Oh, can I not?
Dita, when I see you going for something, I practically write that piece off.
Nonsense, my dear. You seem to have prevailed on a number of occasions.
But where do you get your deep pockets from? I'm a working woman myself. If I want to buy, I've got to sing.
Your work is so often spectacular, too.
You bad boy. You're gonna flatter me until I stop asking you about your money, aren't you?
Well, it worked. She stopped asking. I guess his tactic was successful. Do I even have anything? Hold on. Did I? I don't think I want anything. Wait, did I? Wait, no, I got that guy's painting. That's right. I got that painting from the guy who... Okay, let's see what we have here now. So if we go to ArtNet... Oh, wow. Really? Are you kidding me? The offering price went down. Before, Pebble Beach was offering 1.8 million for this painting. Now they're only offering 1 million. Are you kidding me? Oh, wait. The Smithsonian is offering more, though. And what is this? Can I just, like, do this? No, it's like that price was for the whole group of items, but... Okay, interesting. So I guess what you could do... Okay, I get it. What you can do then is get like all 4 items in a group, and then I guess the idea is that if you can sell all these items at once, all 4 things in the group, then you get like a big profit. Assuming you can get them for less than 13.9 mil, which I guess is possible. Like, how much did it sell for? Maybe 4 mil? Was it 4 million? No, I mean, it must have been less. I mean, if you get these things for 4 million, 4 times 4 is 16 million. If you only pay, if you pay 16 million for these, you only get 13.9 mil back, then obviously you've lost money. So actually, is that profitable? I don't know. The idea is that, I guess, if you get all these things, then hopefully you can, get them for, or not get them, but sell them for more money. So I guess if I go here, I can then sell this to the Smithsonian for...
Do you wish to sell this item?
Yeah. Or I guess I can wait. I mean, the other possibility is I can wait till the end of the next round of bidding and then try to sell what sell this again. Maybe I'll get a better offer then. I don't know. I'll just go ahead and sell it.
Your transaction has been verified.
Cool. Actually, not cool. I lost a ton of money on that, I think. Man, I just can't win. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, honestly. Like, I don't know if there's... I don't know. Man, unbelievable. I've almost been going for an hour and a half. See, this game's entertaining. Like, honestly, I really like this game. It is an entertaining game. I'm having fun with this. I just don't know how I'm supposed to make money. I don't really understand how the bidding works. Or, I mean, the bidding itself is simple enough, but I don't understand how the appraisal and valuing of these things works, because obviously these things fluctuate significantly in value. So how are you supposed to get something... pay a relatively low price for it and then somehow manage to sell it for a much higher price? I don't understand how that works. I'm obviously not having any luck doing that. Okay, let's go back to the bidding room.
Really?
Yeah. Let's do the last round of bidding and we'll be done. All right.
Our next item, Isamu Yamaguchi, Fluctuations of Order and Chaos, 2010. Ah, what's this I hear? A symphony, a rhythmic gondolier. No, the music of the spheres. Fantastic. Yamaguchi's first post-historical sculpture
Oh, man.
coaxes a hush.
I'm sorry. Too pretentious. I
Ladies
couldn't
and
take it anymore.
gentlemen, shall we begin? Have you all gone to sleep? Initially at point 9.
All right. What did somebody want to pay for this? Last time, or actually not last time, but the time before that, we saw somebody want to pay $2 million for this. Really?
Well, Mr. Ahmad, point 9.
Okay, so this might be worth more than the appraised value.
Miss Chantina, 1 million. It's against you, Rashid.
Theoretically. Do we want to go for it?
Closing? Rashid, 1.1. 2, 1.2. Mr. Haas, 3. It's against you, Shantina, with Mr. Haas, 1.3. All right, Shantina, 4. Dieter, 5. Yes, Rashid, 6, 7. Yes, Mr. Ahmad, 8. Well, who's next?
Okay,
Okay, Mr.
I'll
Moore,
go
9,
up to the
2
appraised
million.
value. Okay, but then Mr. Ahmad outbid me already, and Shantina.
Closing? I knew you could do it. Rashid, 2.2. Chantina, 4. That's it? Yes, Chantina, 2.5. I'm waiting with Miss Shantina, 2.5. Nothing? Well, Mr. Ahmad, 2.6. Thanks, Dieter. It's against you, Rashid. Really? All's quiet? There she goes. Sold to Dieter Haas, 2.7.
See, I don't really understand. It looks like Dita Haas and Shantina have lost money. Like this is their net worth here. If you look at their net worth, it seems like their net worth is lower than mine, and I've hardly done anything. I mean, I won a couple of things and sold them at a loss, but I've hardly done anything. So it seems like the best way to make money is actually, I mean, you don't make money. The best way to win the game is just do nothing. Like just don't bid on anything, and it seems like you win the game with with the most money that way, because like all these transactions seem to be losers. It seems like everybody's losing money on every transaction that they make. So again, I don't really get the point. It seems almost like the winning, a strange game. The only winning move is not to play. Like literally just wait for the auction to finish and don't bid on anything. That seems like the best way to make to win. I don't know. I don't get it.
Our next item, Master Bedroom, Versailles, circa 1670. Ah, to know the glorious slumber of a king.
Oh.
The finest linens, the most elaborate brocades, the airy splendor of golden surrounds. Never mind the richly carved wood of the conjugal bed. The moldings alone are truly magnificent. To the lucky bidder, exclusive admission to the Sun King's former Chamber of Dreams.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, shall we begin? Perhaps you were up late last night, but there's no need to doze off.
I'm up late making this video. It's 1 a.m. here. Oh my goodness, it's almost 1 a.m. and I'm making this video. What am I doing with my life?
For this, we really must begin at 1.2. Thanks, Rashid, 2. Shall we move? I knew you could do it. Miss Chantina, 1.3. 4. I'm waiting. Shall we move? Yes. Mr. Haas, 5. 6. It's against you, Dieter. Thank you. Miss Chantina, 1.7.
Bid over reserves, Dieter. No more bids, please, Dieter.
It's against you, Rashid. Okay, Rashid, 8. It's against you, Shantina. Is that all? Yes, Shantina, 1.9. 2 million. Shall we move? Yes, Shantina, 2.1. 2. All right. Really? I knew you could do it. Chantina, 2.3. Shall we move?
Bid over reserves, Dieter. No more bids, please, Dieter.
Well, Mr. Ahmad, 2.4. Shall we move? Please.
Dieter's an idiot. He keeps trying to bid even though he knows he's
over reserves, Dieter. No more bids, please, Dieter.
Stop doing that, Dieter.
Nothing else? Yes! Sold to Rashid Ahmad, 2.4.
Dieter knows that he can't go any further, that he's over reserved, but he's still trying to bid. Like, come on, stop that, Dieter. So it looks like Rashid Ahmad may have gotten a bargain because he actually got this for, he paid 100,000 less than the appraised value. I'm looking at the offered prices though, and the offered price for this is only 2.1 million. So if he sells it for 2.1 million, he's made a loss. Like, I don't understand. And you can see he's gone to the negative now. Like his cash is negative, so he's probably not going to bid much in future on future items because he's out of money. I mean, he can bid like a small amount of money, but he won't be able to bid like 2 million on a future item.
Our next item. The skull of the Norwegian clairvoyant elk, 2009. To think that we once imagined our mental realms were private. An amusing conceit today, but before Edgar's time, one widely believed. Dear bidder, embrace the skull that served as vessel for that great-souled elk. He brought us a deeper understanding, and now it is time for us to up the antler. That is, ante. I'm sure you know what I mean.
Dear bidder, embrace the skull. Oh, are you ready to embrace the skull, folks? I'm ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, shall we begin? Perhaps you were up late last night, but there's no need to doze off.
So, appraised value here is 1.6. In my screenshot, or in my photo that I took, the offered sale value was 1.7.
We shall start at 0.8.
So I could theoretically get a bit aggressive here.
I knew you could do it. Dieter, 0.8. I'm waiting. Okay, Miss Chantina, 9.9. Dieter, 1 million. Thanks, Miss Chantina, 1. I'm waiting.
Rashid is probably not going to be able to bid much anyway because he's already in the negative.
Okay, that's more like it. Dieter, 1.2. 3
Okay.
with Mr. Mori, 1.3. I'm waiting. Yes, Dieter, 4. It's against you, Takeshi. Well?
Bid over reserves, Rashid. No more bids, please, Rashid.
Shut up, Rashid.
Closing? That's more like it. Miss Chantina, 1.5. It's against you, Dieter. Closing? Thank you, Mr. Mori. 1.6. I'm waiting.
Ninja.
Yes? Nothing? No more? Warning. Sold to Takeshi Mori. 1.6.
Okay. I bought it for exactly its appraised value here. I'm hoping that I can make a little bit more when I sell it, but who knows.
Our next item. Buff Goons. Amy Fisher, 1993.
Oh,
Ah, what is sweeter than revenge? Who among us can kiss and not tell? Not many, but a few can. In the king of commodities' luscious portrait of America's sweetheart, the once bashful Amy Fisher, the relationship of prime time to punishment is finally clear. Goon's droll commentary on the excitations of youth casts the path of fame in the roots of shame. A sculpture that made headlines to the bidder who makes haste.
This is something, again, like a lot of these references were contemporary to the time when the game came out. This is something that was current at the time of the game's release, the story of Amy Fisher. I'm not going to tell the whole story here. It's a pretty... I was going to say tragic, but it's not. Well, I mean, it is tragic, but it's also it's kind of funny. It's kind of tragic comic in its way. Like I find it funny. I probably shouldn't actually. It's kind of a sad story, but there's a certain element. Anyway, look it up. If you don't know what it is, then look it up.
Shall we begin? Perhaps you were up late last night.
Yeah, okay.
Let's start the bidding at point 4.
Oh, the appraised value is only 0.9.
Well, Mr. Ahmad, point 4. All right? Yes? Yes, Dieter, point 5. With Mr. Haas, please. It's against you, Rashid. Thank you. Miss Chantina, point 6. It's against you, Dieter. Well? Rashid, point 7. It's against you, Shantina. Closing? Thank you. Chantina, point 8. It's against you, Rashid. All right, Mr. Ahmad, 9. Thanks, Miss Chantina, 1 million. Shall we move? Who's next? Dieter, 1. All right. It's against you, Shantina. Thanks, Miss Chantina, 2. It's against you, Dieter. More? All's quiet? Wait no more. Gone. Sold to Chantina, 1.2.
Are there any bidders who wish to utilize the ArtNet before the close of business today? No, thank you. But you'll notice everybody has a net worth of less than the 8.5 that we started with. That means, unless I'm really missing something, unless I'm really just not understanding something, it seems to me like I could have won by just not bidding anything, because I would have ended up with more money than everybody else, because everybody else lost money.
Attention, please. There has been a transaction on the ArtNet by a fellow bidder.
Oh.
Please take note.
I probably should have used that ArtNet. So I don't know how that works. So Rashid sold that thing for $4.2 million, and there's no way that he... What did he pay for it? I don't remember what he paid for it, but I'm pretty sure it was a lot less than that. Okay. And he sold this for $2.8 million. I don't remember how much he paid for it, but... Okay, and he paid... Right, okay. Okay, and it's updating. Okay, so actually, so he paid... I think he paid 2.3 for this, and... Or at least it was assessed as being worth 2.3, and now he got 2.8 million for it, so... Okay, I see. So, okay, so this... Oh, okay, so this is the big sell-off. Okay, so this is actually where we should have waited. We should have sold stuff off at the end, I guess? I don't know. But now, okay, now these people are making, like, the big money. Holy cow. Okay. Oh, but this is two things. She's selling that painting of St. Sebastian and Van Gogh's Self-Portrait with Bandaged Ear together for 5.6 million. Okay. Pay Dieter 0.2 for 0.2, really? Dieter walked away with only 0.2 million for the Hall of the Bulls for that like 15,000-year-old painting? Are you serious? 2.3 for okay, fine. Yeah, okay, 1.4 million.
Congratulations, Rashid. Splendid.
Okay, so Rashid wins because he ended up with the highest amount of money. So he's the only one who made a profit. He's the only one who started with more than the 8.5 that we started with. So seriously, it seems like you have a chance. It seems like your best chance, in fact, of winning the game is to do literally nothing at the auctions. Don't bid on anything, because your starting money of 8.5 is likely to be higher than some other people's. Okay, in this case, Rashid got lucky. He got a couple of good deals, and that's why he ends up above. Like he ends up in the black. Like he ends up in the plus. He got a $0.6 million profit overall, but it seems like I could have had a winning chance. Like my best winning chance would have been just to do nothing.
How I used to dream of this moment when I indentured to the house of Darwish. I would have the same handsome clothes as my master, the same carpets, the same treasures. And yet, even then, I knew that they would not dominate me. I would control my pleasures, and yet myself remain free.
Please enter your name into the auction house guest book. It has been our pleasure to have you in attendance.
It's like Poe's Law. You can't really tell. Are they being satirical? Do they realize how ridiculous this is? Do they realize how absurd that was, or did they actually think, wow, this is great entertainment? I mean, it is entertaining. Like, it is actually great entertainment, but it's like,
your benevolent contribution will not go unnoticed by the world body community.
Is that it? That's it. That was Millennium Auction. Gosh. Wow. I'm speechless. I have nothing more to say, folks. Honestly, this has been a lot of fun. I really, really enjoy this. I mean, like, I think it's pretty obvious that as a game, there's some issues here, but as entertainment, as a combined statement on art with kind of social cultural satire, with commentary on the art world in general, and sort of combined pretentiousness and intellectualism and elitism and what, I don't know, man. Wow. I mean, like I said, this game is itself a work of art, and it is to be appreciated as a work of art, not as a game. And I do appreciate it. Like, I mean, I think it's obvious that I've had a lot of fun here. I really enjoyed this. Check it out. If you like what you've seen here, check it out. It's a lot of fun. It's an experience. I can definitely say it's a unique experience. I've never seen a game like this. I don't think you have either. It's too bad it didn't work out. It's too bad that it wasn't really successful. I'm curious, what's here in the README file? Okay, I mean, system requirements and performance, and yeah, okay. Nothing really much about. I mean, typical for README files, this is not the manual. This is not about the game itself. It's not about how to play the game. It's mostly just about technical notes, like how to manage memory and things like that in case you have technical issues with the game. But yeah, I don't know what One World History is. I'm not going to check it now. You'll have to check it out yourself. Download the game and find out yourself. Maybe it's something interesting and cool. We'll never know, or at least I'll never know. Maybe you will. I'm going to sign off. Thanks for watching, everyone. Wow, I can't believe it went on this long. But I mean, like I said, I enjoyed it. I think it was worth it. Wow. I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm just, wow, amazed. All right. That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a happy December. Take care of yourselves. I will talk to you later. Ta-ta for now.